it's Krista with Eat Real America. So one of the things that we picked up at the farmer's market on Saturday, I feel like is one of the most underappreciated and overlooked veggies out there because it is so weird and interesting looking. So this is a kohlrabi. And so I know it looks strange. I have even kind of compared it to like an alien, like, you know, the aliens from Toy Story. That's how I tell people, yep, that's what it looks like. So this is actually from the cabbage family of vegetables. So it's a cruciferous vegetable, which means it's one of the cancer-fighting vegetables. But a kohlrabi is actually, it's got a really mild, like I wouldn't even compare it to a radish. It's got a super mild taste, very much crunch like an apple, but we have had a farmer tell us this is like a poor man's water chestnut. And that's probably the best explanation I've ever heard. Okay, so the crazy thing about kohlrabi is there's so much you can do with it. This strange looking vegetable has so many possibilities. So when we first kind of fell in love with kohlrabi a few years ago, I was doing a cooking demo and all we were doing were sauteing vegetables, just a random variety of vegetables. Well, we threw a kohlrabi in there. And I mean, we're talking basic seasonings. People lost their minds. They were thinking, what in the world is that crunchy thing? What is that? I need to know what to do with it and how to cook it and all this. And so the crazy thing is that day came home from the cooking demo and hanging on our front door was a bag of kohlrabi from a friend of mine that she got from her farm. And I thought, okay, at that point, I knew we were meant to have kohlrabi in our life. So what do you do with it? So kohlrabi is actually great eaten raw. Like it's perfect to use as a dip for hummus. You can throw it on salads. You do not have to cook it. But the great thing is you can cook it like in sauteed vegetables, stir fries, and it actually will retain its crunch. You can even roast it and it will retain its crunch. But what I wanted to show you today is we're gonna do a kohlrabi and apple coleslaw, and then we're gonna put it on top of grilled pork chops. Now, so with a kohlrabi, obviously they come in different sizes. You can also find them in purple. It's like this really bright violet purple. So if you're buying a kohlrabi that's this big or even this big, we typically will peel the skin off. But if you find really small kohlrabi, you actually don't even need to peel them because the skin will be more tender. So what you do is you actually just trim off the ends. And of course, I've just washed and rinsed this real good. And then I take my knife and kind of just go around to get the skin off. Now for this recipe, we're gonna cut the apple and the kohlrabi into just kind of matchsticks. But you could definitely shred it, you could chop it, whatever your personal preference is. And then I would just cut it in half and then, you know, dice it up or slice it up. And so what we have got right here is one kohlrabi. Just, it's peeled and it's cut into matchsticks. And then in here is just a medium to large size apple, did not peel it, so it's also cut. So we're gonna toss both of these together. Now this salad comes together super easy. Half a cup of chopped cilantro, and then this is about 3 green onions. Again, you can pick those up at the farmer's market. Now this is about 1/4 cup of pistachios. We toasted them in the skillet for just a couple of minutes, just a dry skillet, and then we chopped them. You of course could use whatever nut you like. And then this is just 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper and garlic powder. Granulated garlic, you could even throw 1 or 2 garlic cloves in there. Now, so the dressing part of this coleslaw, this is 2 tablespoons of tahini. Now tahini is just ground sesame seeds, and it's a very typical ingredient in hummus. And so that is it. All we're gonna do is toss this together. We are gonna toss in half a lime for a little bit more. Oh, well, there's blooper number 2. Okay, so a tablespoon of lime juice is half of a lime. All right, so then toss this up. Now the reason that we're making this before we start to grill or cook the pork chops is because we actually want the flavors to kind of meld together and come together in the slaw, so it'll just taste that much better. You could totally make this up ahead of time and let it sit in the fridge and it'll taste that much better. So then what we've got is we've just got 4 pork chops. It can be bone-in, boneless, whichever you want to do. And you can also cook these in the skillet. Like I said, you do not have to grill these. But all we did was we just drizzled a little bit of olive oil with our olive oil sprayer, rubbed that in, and did salt and pepper. And so we've preheated the grill, and we're going to pop these on the grill, and we'll be back. Okay, so we just got the pork chops off the grill. They look amazing. And we've let them rest for a couple of minutes. And so at this point, taste your coleslaw. It might need a little bit more salt and pepper to your personal preference, but if you are not a huge cilantro fan, feel free. This is the perfect time to add fresh herbs. So add fresh herbs of your choice. Those would also be great in this coleslaw. So stir it up just to make sure it's well mixed. And then we're gonna top the pork chop with the coleslaw. And excellent way to enjoy kohlrabi. So I encourage you to pick up one of these quirky looking vegetables. Pick up a kohlrabi, try it, see what you think. Try it in so many things, on salads, in stir fries. Try roasting it. You could even try putting it on the grill. And let us know what you think. The recipe, of course, is on eatrealamerica.com. So enjoy and see you soon.